Alright, hello and welcome. This is my video on cold starts, taxi, takeoff, and landing in the A-10C Warthog. Okay, now everything in here is one-to-one. Every knob, switch, and every shiny button here is all operational, all has a purpose, and it causes an effect in flight, in and during flight. So we're gonna have to cold start this bad boy. Let me just get my throttle and stuff ready from the last flight I just did. I have to reset a lot of stuff. Okay. So let's go ahead and get it started. We're going to start out by floodlights, battery, inverter, APU start, which is going to be a switch on my throttle right there, but I'm going to click it physically on the throttle. Okay. We're going to wait for this APU to hit 100. In the meantime, let's turn on some radio. 25100. Good. Okay, let's turn on our CDU and EGI. Get those bad boys going. Alright, once that bad boy hits 100, we're going to turn on this AC gen power. And this is the generators that will and then turn our turbines here, motors. So yep, we're going to hit 100. Turn that on. Okay. So now we have electrical power. We can go ahead and click that. Trim off. Yep. Bang, 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 bang. Flood pumps. Those running. Anti-skid, CQ, jitters, and IFCC. That should turn on. Yes. Alright. Let's go ahead and turn this. That's not necessary because we're not in a combat situation. This is my defense radars. Yeah, so they will beep when someone's shooting at me. Not super crucial because we are not in a combat situation. This is just a casual video of me flying to another airport on a cold start. Okay. So now that we have electrical power. Oh, wow. In fact, here, I'll show you guys this. So we're going to move this into on position. That's going to start my RPM on the left side. We're going to wait for this dial to hit 60. And then we're going to flip this switch here. The left AC gen power.
Pull up, pull up.
Okay, thank you. I am on the ground. I don't need to pull up. And
Altitude.
Yep, very predictable. Alright, so I'm going to turn on my MFDs here. And while I wait for that thing to power up, I can load at the same time. I can be as efficient as possible in the airplane. Why are you off dial? I just noticed you. You're supposed to be right there. Why did you change? Don't know. Alright, so I'm going to look back at my screen here. This is all the stuff that I need to turn off. Alright, so what we got going is engine start. I got the L going. So once that hits, I'm going to flip that. That's going to turn off. Oh, there we go. And sorry, my head tracking. There we go. And you don't like that, so I'm going to turn you off. And let's go ahead and do the right side. There we go. And they're off. So I can go ahead and turn on my oxygen so I can breathe my pitot heat or pitot heat. So the cool thing about this, guys, pitot heat. So I learned that that is a measure that keeps the gas lines from defrosting. You can imagine how crappy that would be if your gas freezes. That would not be fun. So cool little feature there. So here we have our CDU. We're getting our thing, our navigation aligned here. We're gonna need T equals 4.0, 0.8. When that hits that, maybe we can get our HUD going. Actually, I can turn the HUD on now. But we don't have a velocity vector. Our velocity vector should be sitting right there. It's very important. And that'll turn on once we hit this EGI switch, and that's only applicable when this nav is aligned. So what we have here with seat not armed, I have to arm my ejection seat, so just in case I want to go for a quick swim, I can do that. I can turn off the floodlights because that's annoying. GCAS and EAC. So the EAC and the GCAS are on this side. I can't remember exactly what they stand for and what they're for, except for that they, I have to flip those switches. I'm getting, my terminology is slowly growing, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so now that that's ready, I can turn this on and turn off that loud crap. Oh, maybe that's why it's loud. Let's close the canopy. Alright, let's see what we got here. Yep, nav and EX. So we're just going to wait for those bad boys to turn on. And while we have these up, we can actually open up our TAD menu. And instead of having to look down, you just do that. It's the same screen. That's all it's doing. So this nav and EAC lights will turn off when I can, when I click nav here, when it's all lined up, and I'm gonna hit the EGI switch, and we're ready to taxi. So right now is the time to go on Instagram, YouTube, look up DCS tutorials on how to taxi and how to take off. Maybe even open a beer, because it might take a while. It's going, I guess, yeah. Alright. So yeah, you guys are on head tracking. So as I'm turning my head, this is me physically moving my head. I'm sorry if it makes you guys dizzy. That is me leaning forward, I'm leaning back. And this right here is a zoom dial, slide I have on the physical throttle to the left of me. Yeah, so this much is actually in my room. So right here, all this here is physically on my desk. And the cool thing about this, guys, is that this throttle and this stick, I have the exact same copy of used in-flight throttle and stick. You can imagine that these things are made of metal. Yes, they are, and they're very heavy. Oh my gosh, man, if you got clocked in the head with this stick, without all this, just the stick, I think you'd go down. It's pretty heavy. All right, so we're all squared up on T equals 4.0, 0.8, so we're gonna click nav here. Okay. Turn that off, and let me lean, rock with it. There it is, EGI, and there she is. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is, normally you would have to request taxi and take off, or actually start up taxi and take off, but no one's in the server, so I'm not in a multiplayer situation. I don't need to do that, so I'm not going to. So I'm gonna pull up a little throttle here to get us moving, get us to the runway. He's probably gonna, he meaning the head traffic controller, is gonna tell me to go to runway 8. I kind of already know that. No one's in the airport, as you can see. So we'll just go ahead and make our way. So the way I'm moving the plane is with the rudder pedals. Here, let me... So that's all I'm moving. And the cool thing about it, guys, is that the rudder pedals are actual physical hardware you can put in your room and put your feet on. And so you see those pedals on the bottom, they're moving. That's what's moving the plane left and right during taxi. Now, I was gonna buy those pedals, but my guy said that I don't really, it's only for taxi, not so much for the sake of flying. So you can imagine I'm gonna save my money and not buy it. I think pressing X and Z on the keyboard works just fine. So I feel like I don't need to get that. Nobody's home. This is where, during a mission, whoever is in this mission as it starts would start wherever they are placed by the mission editor. And I'm going a little fast for taxi, so I'm going to pull that back on the throttle. Okay. I'm going way too fast for taxi, so I'm going to air brake, air brake, air brake. Sorry, wheel brake, wheel brake. Air brake is on the wing, and you'll see that when it lands. All right. Yeah. That's air brake, and that's only useful for me in this case for landing. I don't think I need it. Maybe in a combat situation, but I'm not that trained yet. That'll be my next video. Alright, so at this point I'll be requesting for takeoff. He would tell me request cleared. You say climb at 300 at QFV 26.77. In other words, go straight, climb at 300 feet per second, not second. I actually don't remember, guys. I've been playing this game for hours now. I'm a little brain fried. But in other words, just take off, like you just cleared to take off. Okay, so we're coming to a complete stop here. All right, let me just check my waypoints. You can see it here. It'll say initial position, and I'll change it up to MS no, which it should be say landing, but I don't know why the game put it MS no. That's probably zeros, or whatever. That's our heading. Okay, so let me just stretch here because I'm not gonna be able to move in the cockpit left there. All right, full throttle, nice and easy. And what we're gonna look for is, see that 50 right there? That's our airspeed. So once we hit about 70, we're gonna turn off wheel steering just to keep this plane straight. There we go. Excuse me. And because I don't have any missiles or gas tanks or any kind of payload, once I hit 130, I'm gonna pull back on the stick, and we should be fairly responsive. Kind of, not really. So yeah, we want to keep the horizon just at the dashboard there. Keep a nice steady climb at 7.5 degrees. Gears up. Flaps up. I'm off the pedals, or off the rudders if you will. I'm climbing a little too fast high, but it's okay because we don't have much weight on us, so we're able to climb pretty fast. That's the result of shooting up like that. If I had a full payload, then this would be a little bit difficult to climb. So at this point, we're going to send it up to Angels 2, 2000 ATL. And I'm going to pull back on the throttle, and we'll find a nice cruising speed to our next waypoint. Okay, there we go. So we're going to halfway on the throttle. Yep. And let's level it off. So here, I am trimming my life away. Trim is small adjustments I can make with this hat here. You see me moving it? That's on the stick itself. So I'm actually pressing that button to get the velocity vector as close to that horizon line as best as possible. And this is my best friend right here. This is it. Because once I get this level, like that, my hands are off the stick, guys. I'm hands free. I can scratch both feet same time if I want. I can drink beer, open up Instagram, watch tutorial videos on DCS. But then she wants to turn, so it's good to hold that angle. So at this point, let's find our next waypoint. There you are. There you are. So 30 and 26, that's 30 degrees to the left and 25 nautical miles out. So what we're going to do is hit our, look at our HSI there, that big white ball in the middle. We're going to get a 30-degree bank. There we go. And get a nice pull. Keep it nice and level with the horizon. Because when I want to turn like that, guys, it's my nose is going to want to dip in, depending on the intensity of the bank. But we're not, I mean, I'm not trying to evade a missile here, so I don't need to do such huge adjustments. So yeah, now we're cruising to our next destination, which is, if you guys want to see, doesn't have a mark. I think it's on our hood somewhere. No, it's not. Okay. It would be on our map, but I'm not trying to look at that right now. Yeah, I ain't trying to look at that right now. It's confusing. Okay. So yeah, check out the view, the nice Caucasus Mountains of Russia. You guys imagine a map in Hawaii, taking off from Honolulu Airport, flying over Kailua, checking out the ko'olaus. You can imagine, man, that's so cool. But the only U.S. airport this game offers is the U.S. Air Force Field in Nevada. One day I shall get that, because a lot of multiplayer servers are, the missions at least start there, and you need that DLC pack or map to participate. So I shall buy that one by. And the carrier, that's another cool thing. So what you're about to see me land is going to be about 20 times harder on a carrier. Because I can kind of muck up the landing here and still land. But you can't really muck up on a carrier. Because it'll either fall off or crash into the deck. And both of those, as you can imagine, sound terrible. So we don't want that. We'll just cruise it nice and easy here. I'm going to try and trim because I'm keep on pressing the stick. And there we are. Level flight. Beautiful. Okay. So we're gonna start our angle of attack here. Our what do they call it? Air traffic pattern. We're gonna go hit it with a 45-degree angle, go downwind. At that point we're gonna drop our gears and flaps. They call it going dirty. They're gonna drop that, and that's when things get pretty draggy. because I'm creating a lot of wind resistance. And we'll know that when the runway is on the left side of me. That's how I'm in downwind formation. And we want the runway just at the tip of the wing there. That's kind of the eyeball indication of how far I want that runway to be. So when I make my base turn from downwind, base turn, and then the final approach, I shall be right on target. Should be. We'll see how this goes. Just want to physically see the runway. And there you are. So we're gonna start making our left turn here, right turn here. Nice easy turn. We're not making a huge adjustment. We are at Angels 3, so we will start decreasing altitude soon. And I can start now. So just keep the nose below the horizon. You will drop. We keep it right here. By the time we hit the runway, we should be at Angels 2. And that should be a good start for our descent. So yeah, family, this is the game I'm playing. This is it right here, man. It's just kind of just the tip of the iceberg, if you will. Basic foundation. I have not yet learned any of the weapons or how to discharge them, but that is soon. Once I get this basic flying down, then I can, you know, really perfect combat situations. You know, you gotta walk before you run. And right now, guys, we are crawling. There she is. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. We'll just hold her nice and steady for now, because we're still kind of a ways away. But we can, you know, cheat a little bit. You know, cheat. What do they call it? Like choking up on the bat. You know. Sorry, my head movements are janky. I'm trying my best to keep it still as best as I can. Alright, where is my airport? Where are you? You're over there. Okay. We should just be off target enough. Sorry, off target. We should just be far enough from the airport so where it's just at the tip of the wing. We can go right a little bit more. A nice, easy turn. So once we hit this, we actually should have came more over to 45, but because we approached it kind of dead on like this, I'm already kind of in a downwind formation. So we'll just take it from here. So soon, once the runway hits this wing here, I'm gonna drop the landing gears, drop the flaps, and get in position for landing, the angle of attack, if you will. So I'll show you the indicator, what I have to read and discipline myself to actually do it. You'll see it soon. Once I drop the gears, the light will turn on. Just for the hell of it. Why not? Let's try this.
Cobble Eddy, in field, 1-1, inbound. Enfield 1-1, Cobble Eddy, fly heading 238, Fort 12, QFE 29.86, runway 07, to pattern altitude.
Copy that. Request landing.
Cobble Eddy, in field, 1-1, request landing.
So at the indication that I use to turn, or what I was taught, is that the end of the runway there, once it hits the tip of the wing, we call that a beam point. That's when I start banking in to make the base turn for my final approach. And about 10 seconds here. Drop gears. Drop flaps. And there we go. We can actually get started. So we're gonna take a nice 30-degree turn here. Make a nice bank into that runway there. So we're gonna actually decrease altitude because we are at Angels 3. We need to be at Angels 1. So I will be decreasing altitude, kind of not at a alarming rate, but pretty exponentially because we are kind of high up. So there's the indicator. those two little legs there. You're gonna see that in 2 half circles. Down means I'm too fast, so I need to decrease speed. The speeds I want at this approach is 120 to 140 airspeed, and I want to be at about Angels 1, so we are not any of those things. So I'm actually gonna decrease my throttle here and keep this angle of descent. Keep the same angle of pitch, of bank, sorry, and decrease speed because we're coming on it pretty fast. And we don't want to bank too much because we are going to stall, and stalling is not pretty, ladies and gentlemen. Decreasing speed, decreasing speed, decreasing speed. So yeah, we did overshoot it a little bit, but we can make this adjustment.
Altitude, altitude.
This is a pretty ugly landing. You know what, guys?
Enfield 1-1. Cover ready. Check landing gear. Runway 07.
I didn't like that. So we're gonna take it around again. Throttle up. Get a good climb.
Enfield 1-1. Go around. Runway occupied.
Sorry guys, I kind of messed that first one up. Take it for a round again. Decrease speed. Get a nice bank going. So I was taught that all bad landings start with a bad approach, not necessarily with the touchdown. So I did set myself up wrong. You saw that I did overshoot there. I am still learning, but I promise you, I have landed before. What's my speed? Yeah, I'm at a good speed. I am going a little fast, but we're not approaching yet, so I can adjust that as we approach closer. So yeah, coming into the approach, I probably was going a lot faster than I needed to be, because this bank turn shouldn't have whipped me around that far, so I probably was going a little too fast. Just for the sake of the video, I was probably a little distracted. I blame the video. Start our bank. We don't want to go too far of a bank because we will stall. So keep it nice and level. Nice 30-degree bank. I can actually pull back on the stick a little more if I want to. We should line ourselves up with the runway nice and perfect. Now, Angels 1, 166. That can be adjusted very easily on descent. We are. I think we got the money here, guys. Yeah, I think I was going a little too fast. Yeah, see, this is a lot better. Alright, decreasing power. Decreasing a lot of power.
Enfield 1-1. Cover ready. Check landing gear. Runway 07.
Altitude, altitude.
All right, I hear you. All right, we are coming in a little hot. We can adjust that. My throttle is all the way down. And flare up. Right, engaging the air brake. Keeping the nose up to create drag. This is where I start wheel braking my life away. The stick is back to stationary.
Enfield 1-1.
All right.
Taxi to parking area.
A little shaky on the landing there, but you know what? We're down, we're alive. Hey, that's a successful landing for me. And fun fact, we didn't break any landing gears. That's probably a pretty successful landing. So obviously, normally you'd want to be at the right speed on the right approach. Trust me, guys, I have done this successfully, but this is like the 20th video I've recorded, so I'm kind of good on making videos. So that was it. Thank you, guys, and next video will be a lot more explosive and shooting things. All right, guys.